A lot of the time I will hear people say, oh, it's the influencers' fault, it's the celebrities' fault, it's Kim Kardashian's fault, they are the ones that are setting these beauty standards. And I'm like, yes, they are absolutely perpetuating them, but we are the ones with the power here. It's actually us that are upholding these toxic beauty standards that we hate so much. In today's video, I am responding to Stephanie Lang. That's me. This one is a weird one. I am reacting to my own video.
Wait, this is me reacting to Stephanie, who's reacting to herself?
One comment that I kept seeing over and over and honestly made me want to bang my head against a brick wall is that I am bashing women, I am shaming women, I am scrutinizing other people's faces. And honestly, it's kind of starting to annoy me because in my mind, that is quite literally the opposite of what I'm doing. I am a woman, I am for women. But more importantly than that,
I mean, I feel like she's always saying that people should just do whatever it is that makes them feel good about themselves. And yeah, I don't think she's been very negative in her videos.
I stand for the underdog. I always have. It's just in my nature. I will always stand up for the underdog. The way I see it is that it is the average everyday woman like me who is the underdog. And by underdog, I mean women that aren't rich influencers, women who aren't professional models, women who aren't celebrities, women who don't technically fit the current crazy beauty standards. It is for the women who feel insecure or who feel like they are not good enough, or the women who look in the mirror and honestly want to cry because the image they see reflected back at them is not one that they are happy with. It is for those women that I make these videos.
It's good, I think, to take a step back and think about, like, why are we creating this content? Why do I make videos that involve celebrities, right? I mean, that's something that I've definitely obviously thought about before too. Even though, you know, especially when I first started making the celebrity videos, I felt a little bad. I'm like, why am I talking about these celebrities, you know? So I felt a little bad about, like, you know, talking about things that, you know, again, is all speculative, right? It's not like I have any proof that they've had any of these specific procedures done, but I feel like I can lend, you know, an informed opinion. The main reason though that kind of I kept making those videos and I kept like thinking that it was overall a net positive is because of the individuals that we're able to reach through the channel and just kind of like educate them about like surgeries that exist, about, you know, changes that occur to our faces over time as we age. So that has been my driving force and the main reason why we keep making these videos that involve celebrities.
In the men's sphere, and especially like the men's fitness sphere, there are so many YouTubers and Instagrammers that call out and discuss unrealistic standards when it comes to men and fitness. But when it comes to women, we can't do it because then we're seen shaming or scrutinizing or bashing other women, and it's crazy to me.
Yeah, I think there's a way to present this content so that we can all sort of learn from it. And, you know, especially when I, you know, make celebrity videos, which I think makes it stand out from others talking about celebrities and surgeries they may have had, is that I'm really coming at it from, you know, from a more technical type of place. I'm not saying that they should have had something done or shouldn't have something done or suggesting procedures. You probably have noticed I never do that. However, you know, I am approaching it from a standpoint of like science, from medical background, right, from a surgical perspective, and I'm giving you thoughts on what may have happened, what are, you know, the likelihood of certain procedures based on my own expert opinions.
Women who are the underdog, who aren't the celebrities, who aren't the influencers, who don't have millions of dollars in their bank account, who can buy a new face, they're looking at themselves and wanting to cry because their nose is too big, their eyes are too hooded, they can't get rid of their skin texture, their lips are too thin, their belly is too jiggly, they don't have a thigh gap, their jaw is too round, their boobs too saggy, their butt is too wobbly. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I think we have to divide this up into kind of two different elements here. One is understanding what's going on with our bodies as we age, but also like how certain faces differ from other faces, just with you know, some of the traits that we're born with. And then there's the question of, well, okay, knowing then what you know, should you go and change something about your appearance? And that again is a whole other kind of aspect, and something that I think people need to make informed decisions on based on the risks that exist and based on, you know, what they're really aiming for.
Now, there have always been beauty standards back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. There's always been different beauty standards, but now they are catastrophic. Like, humans can't fit these beauty standards. And a lot of the time I will hear people say, oh, it's the influencers' fault, it's the celebrities' fault, it's Kim Kardashian's fault, they are the ones that are setting these beauty standards. And I'm like, Yes, they are absolutely perpetuating them, but we are the ones with the power here. It's actually us that are upholding these toxic beauty standards that we hate so much. But in a way, guys, it's actually quite empowering that we are the ones with the power here.
But these beauty standards are something that are collectively being driven forward. It's not just the celebrity, it's not just the rest of us, it's the combination of the two. I think in some ways we enjoy seeing some people on TV that almost like stand out, that appear different maybe than sort of the rest of us, and perhaps there's some allure there.
I only have sons. I don't have any daughters, and I'm bloody glad of that, because I think if I had daughters in this day and age, I would be pretty anxious for their future self-esteem. I would actually hate to have a daughter grow up in this day and age, to flip open her phone and just be blasted with this fake image of what she's meant to look like.
I have many men in my practice for all the hair surgery that we do. So I see these same sort of insecurities and, concerns that people have as they kind of go through the world play out for men as well. They look also to certain celebrities for kind of confirmation of like, this is the look to strive for.
Now, another thing that I try and do in my YouTube videos is humanize people. So I like to humanize huge influencers. I like to humanize celebrities, because so often we can find ourselves putting them on a pedestal and thinking that they are somehow so much better than us, somehow so much more beautiful than us, but it's not true. Like, we are all equal in this world. They are not above you and you are not below them. And because of the fact that these women are in fact humans, they are also victims of these beauty standards. They are not the instigators of the beauty standards. Yes, they may perpetuate them, they may feed them, but they are also victims of the same beauty standards as you and I.
Yeah, in Hollywood, from what I've gathered through even some of my patients, that there are these scouts and agents who basically will tell their clients that they should get certain surgeries done, certain changes to their looks if they want to get, a specific part in a movie or show or in a commercial. So, at the end of the day, who is really doing the perpetuating?
So I will leave you with this, my friends. If we don't like these toxic beauty standards, and let's be real, very few of us do, then we are the ones that have the power to change them. Write to the beauty brands who use obviously airbrushed pictures in their marketing. Tell them you want to see real people, real skin. Kindly suggest to influencers and celebrities that you would rather the reality over perfection.
Yeah, it's interesting that she brings that up, thinking about that in the context of my own surgical results. When we post our surgical results, we try to post very natural lighting and angles that are consistent from the before image to the after image. And, we like to show people the broad range of what results are possible. They're not always going to look incredible. It's not always going to be an A+ result, because that's just the nature of surgery. You're not always going to get exactly the most, beautiful result. And that goes for every single plastic surgeon that's out there. But I find that posting that type of a real natural type of result will sometimes get its own backlash, because people are used to seeing these extremely edited after pictures, and after pictures that aren't really in line with what the before image is showing. So it'll be a different lighting, a different angle, a different coloration to the picture as well. And so when people are so used to seeing these kind of incredible results, like for hair, for example, after a hair transplant, there are some clinics that will put powder, basically black powder or topic powder. The results will then look even more full than it actually does in real life, because of the powder that they've placed, because maybe the patient has had scalp micropigmentation, making the scalp look darker. So the point being that there are also heavily edited after images that give prospective patients a false sense of what is actually possible after a hair surgery or after any kind of surgery.
They probably feel so exhausted having to live up to these toxic beauty standards. They would probably love to be able to walk down the street with greasy hair and pimples on their chin and not feel ashamed of it, not feel like they have to put on a full face of makeup just to leave their house for fear of being photographed. They would probably love to stop fighting around with Facetune before posting an image to Instagram.
Yeah, but you know what? It's basically inertia. They've worked up this image of themselves that they need to continue to maintain in order to stay at the same kind of status level as they are now. And it would take a lot to change that behavior. And I'm not quite sure we're going to see that, in the near future. But it will be interesting to see as these celebrities age, how they tackle the natural aging process. And sure, you can keep getting surgeries, but there comes a point where things stop looking natural if you're like 75 and you're trying to look 30. Like it doesn't work after a certain period of time. So at some point they'll need to accept that they're now an older version of themselves, and how will they want to project themselves to the world then? Time will tell.